The Nerd Room annual Year in Review podcast is now available on all podcast platforms, and in the episode, we discuss our favorite films, TV shows, comics, and toys and collectibles from 2021. The video you're about to watch is our favorite toys and collectibles segment from that podcast, only with accompanying pictures, so you get the full immersive experience of the new and vintage items we picked up this year. Hope you guys enjoy. All right, guys, let's keep this rolling. Let's drop into our favorite collectible pickups for 2021. So we spend a lot of time at the end of every single episode in our Week in Nerd chronicling the hunt, chronicling all of our pickups from every single week. And if you've been listening throughout this whole year, you know we have ebbed and flowed through just about every franchise on the face of the earth. We have touched a little bit of everything. So I want to hear, guys, just give me a few here of your favorite collectible pickups from this year. Troy, I'm going to toss it to you here first, man. So what it is, you're out in the hunt every single week. What's landed in your nerd room this year that's got you super stoked about?
Ooh, this is like the hardest thing ever for me, honestly, to narrow it down to three. But well, keeping it No Way Home, keeping it Spider-Man. I got to go with the Mark IV Hot Toys Spider-Man, all new, all different, shiny armor. I've always wanted Spidey in a 1/6 scale, and the articulation lacks definitely, especially when you're used to having like the retro Spidey and you can do whatever you want. But the overall look and like the 3 different eye lenses that you can do, and like the webs that he comes with, the hands, and like the glow effect of his nano kind of technology suit. It's a blast, man. That thing for me is like it's my prime Spider-Man. I love that figure to death. So yeah, I'm going with the Mark IV, at least until the next couple Spideys come out. Well, this guy holds
we all know which one you want.
Yeah, there's a minimum of 4 new ones coming out in addition to the 3 that they've announced already.
Yeah, man, that thing's awesome. The Hot Toys, for me this year, it was something I dipped my toes into with that Endgame Captain America. And as I was rearranging the nerd room, I was looking around being like, man, I think I need more of these. I love more. It's like if I can call a $300-400 collectible an accent piece, but they bring a certain prestige to the room, right? And to the collection. And they're just so well done. Like that Spider-Man and the cap for me, this Endgame cap is one of my top 3 here as well. That was my first experience opening a Hot Toy, getting into one, looking at the detail and the variety and the adaptability to different sort of scenes that you can pull these characters through. And I love it, man. It is such a cool piece. It's something that the odd person that's come in here immediately comments on. And the fact that they're able to bring that version of Captain America with Mjolnir, the busted shield. Oh, yeah, Hot Toys, man.
Different facial expressions, too, with that guy, right?
Yeah, you got kind of a subtle yelling look, a more stoic look. It's that cool magnet, like chin thing, right?
Yeah.
Just pops right in. It's really, really well done. So, yeah, there's 2 Hot Toys on each of our lists there, Carlos. So you can add a third?
Yeah, I was gonna save it for number 1, but I'll give you my number 1 now, and then I'll just slum it with the other ones. But yeah, the number 1 collectible pickup for me this year, like beyond a shadow of a doubt, was landing that Christopher Reeves Superman Hot Toys for my kid. Like,
yeah,
I've got a few of these things, and I look at them all the time, all over the place, and the face sculpt on that Reeves Superman is still like, for my money, it is the best face sculpt that they've ever done. And then the tailoring on the suit, like obviously his costume is going to be a lot more simple than your examples of like the nanotech Spidey or the Endgame Captain America. Like this guy was all tights for the flights, and but they pulled off the look of that costume flawlessly. Like the way the stitches went and everything else. And he comes with a really cool base, like a flight base that's tailored to look like the Fortress of Solitude. So that was cool. And and the wired cape and whatnot. He just has such a presence. Like I put up loads of pictures of that thing on our Instagram, but he truly looks like a real guy. Like, even posting her, like she has the Cavill soups as well, and he's a great figure, but there's just something about that Reeves Superman that just blows them all away. Like, I actually moved him so that he's kind of separate from any of the other ones in the house because he's just too good. Like, he just looks so dang good. Like, yeah. So yeah, that one's my number one, and easily, and to get him the way I did and to not
Yes.
die
Yeah, I
with
remember.
that
I
pickup,
remember that.
I was pretty
Yeah.
happy.
Cannot go wrong. I know there's a lot of people that are jealous of that pickup because it's pretty difficult to find for even a half reasonable price.
Yeah, no, I was, yeah. Somebody just wanted me to have that one, and it all came
Yes.
together, man.
Sometimes, man, the plastic gods deliver.
Yeah, man.
All right, Troy. Let's hear another one from you of your top 3 favorite collectible pickups from this year.
Honestly, man, big shout outs to my dude, the homie, Big Jared. This guy found Beskar Mando, the Black Series, in the silver armor, and he scooped him, didn't hesitate, sent him my way because I couldn't find that guy anywhere. I slept on the hunt for him, thinking I could find him, but Craven struck out. But when he sent it over to me, I was blown away by the figure. And I had some time to make arrangements to go on eBay and get a wired cape. And I threw that wired cape on. And I'm telling you, I had a blast posing this guy. Like, it's probably my top 5 favorite figures to pose of this year. Like, so much fun with that dude, especially because it just has like the Mandalorian armor face plate. So there's no emotion. You can't go wrong. But any kind of like tilt or lean to the head carries so much weight to like the presence of that pose. And I love the accessories that he came with. And then, everybody out there that got like that Baby Yoda accessory too. You throw those 2 and 2 together. So much fun. So that guy for me I think he was my favorite. Yeah, he is definitely my favorite Black Series that came out for I think did he come out 2021 or late 2020? But I got him 2021.
So. I think in 2021.
Yeah. Yeah, and there's been like, so many different releases of that armor later on down the road. But yeah, no, Big J, man, all day. That figure for me was just fire. Yeah. Love that guy.
That one, yeah. I literally just had that out and was posing it today. It's such a cool figure. I got it side by side the original Mando. And yeah, this one's a step above. I even like the plastic cape that came with it, the soft rubber that you can drape over his shoulder. So it's just covering the one side, and it's got a really cool look to it. And you're right, I had the head down, and he's got more of a menacing look to him. And yeah, what a figure. Because like you said, that single pack came out, and then we got, I think, 3 other repacks of it. One with like a snowy look, one with a muddy look, and then one unmasked. All deluxe sets as well. And so that single pack figure came and went really fast. And it was a tough one to get. So really cool that a Black Series lands in your top pickups for this year. I love that.
Yep.
Wicked. I'm going straight to the retro space for the next 2 guys. And so some of you guys might not even know what some of this is, but one that I picked up this year was an absolute holy grail of mine, and it was my 94 Jurassic Park Demon Carnotaurus. Those words might not mean a lot to some people, but the 94 series is a series that came out after the 93 original run that a lot of people will be familiar with the big rubber dinosaurs, the T-Rex, all those familiar dinosaurs. They had a 94 series that came out right after it. Wasn't nearly as successful, didn't see the wide distribution, and ended up with basically an expanded universe for Jurassic Park with new action figures, new dinosaurs. And there's this one dinosaur. It's red or orange and black. We've seen the Carnotaurus in subsequent films, particularly in, I believe, Camp Cretaceous. He gets a big focus. But this action figure, rubber, just perfect, and was something I stared at from 1994 all the way up until 2021 when it finally arrived. A big eBay purchase, very expensive. But I was so happy to have one of my true childhood holy grails enter the room this year. And so that takes place 1 or 2. Really, the next 2 are somewhat interchangeable for me.
That's wicked, man. That's wicked. Well, yeah, I remember you like talking about that when you first got into JP, thinking, or you were kind of saying that this is something that'll never happen, but it was like the white whale type of thing for you.
Yeah, so the silver lining on COVID, I guess maybe, is that it led me down this path, and I got it up on here on a high shelf, well away from the children.
Amazing.
So Carlos, all right, you said you got 2 other ones that pale in comparison to this Reeves, but I really don't believe it. So let's hear them.
Well, yeah, you know what? For my next one, I'm probably going to go with something that's like indirectly attributable to our man Troy here. But it's the Snyder Cut McFarlane Justice League figures, because they came out and they're decent figures. In fact, like the Batman from that line is one of the best Batman that he's put out, and the Cyborg is pretty perfect. But there was a couple that I didn't quite love the look for. But I wanted to have a Justice League, and with Troy's inspiration, I tried my hand at customizing. So, yeah, like strip and paint and getting these things looking the way I wanted. Yeah, it's kind of cool, and I was able to put together a cool looking little display with my Batmobile, and like I've had that Batmobile since 2017, but I've never enjoyed it as much as I have after I got these figures and posing them and did a little like video for our Instagram and all that kind of stuff. And yeah, it was just cool, and it's just cool to have these figures that are unique to my collection, and the Wonder Woman in the Zack Snyder hues, and the Aquaman that actually
so cool
looks like Jason Momoa once I unburied him from all the paint. And yeah, the Flash that gave me arthritis in my hands, getting the thin lines and the little black bits painted on him. But yeah, no, that's definitely one of the highlights of the year for collecting for me, was not the actual buying of the figures, but putting it together in a way that I dig. So
yeah, man. And don't sleep on your Bloodshot, man. The Bloodshot 2, like the mod that you did to that guy, so much more movie accurate. Like that was awesome.
Oh yeah, that guy came out good. Yeah, he came out good.
Great.
That was just was experimenting with MJ's paints. I was like, oh, I need to fix this guy. They gave my boy Bloodsport like the Edmonton Oilers colors, and I can't abide by that. So yeah,
that's exactly what it was. Yeah,
that's hilarious. What about you, Troy, man? The McFarlane's, I look in envy when I look at the stuff that you guys get for the price point and the amount of it. And, I make fun all the time that New Waves hit every week, but that's more jealousy than it is anything. So McFarlane's land on your list here, or do you got something else up your sleeve?
Yeah, again, this is probably the toughest year I've ever had to do something like this. Man, this is tough. I gotta go with the 3-0 Optimus Prime, man. Optimus Prime 3-0, 1/6 scale. This thing came out of nowhere for me, and it's all painted back, right? It's all because of Carlos. He basically got me into the War for Cybertron Netflix show, and wasn't feeling the first 2 seasons too much, but then he's like, stick it out. Season 3, watch season 3, and boom, the return of my childhood was born again with the Beast Wars appearance. And I was like, oh my god, I gotta get my hands on something like this. And checked out a couple reviews, and I was like, wow, this Optimus Prime is like the business. This is the guy that I need in my life. And he happened to be at Marty's comic book shop, and I think I did a bunch of trade-ins, traded basically most of my stuff, got Optimus Prime, and I was like, dude, this is crazy. Went home and I played with this guy, and for him being like pretty much all die cast, articulation is endless with this guy. You can do whatever you want except transform into a truck. But besides that, like this guy is doing, like I mentioned, like the Spider-Man retro figure that I have that I can pose with, like that guy's a 6-inch figure. This guy's 1/6 scale, and he can almost do as much as that Spider-Man can. It's unreal. He comes with a great stand. His accessories are cool, from like the cannon and the axe and the shield. He has like that cool like black wash over him, so it's like I don't know. I think I told Carlos, like when I opened him, it smelled like a body shop. Like someone actually like worked on this figure. It was it's absolutely nuts. He has the light up feature with the eyes, like the windshield. Like I absolutely love this figure, and that's why I made it so hard for me to like narrow it down to these 3. But Optimus Prime, like all day. I can't wait for 3-0. I hope 3-0 delivers and gives us an Optimus Primal or a Cheetor, because I'm really, really like dying for those 2 guys to be released. So, after this purchase though, our boy Ian bought one, and Carlos bought one. So I'm hoping that 3-0 is looking like, all right, people want these figures. Let's keep it going. So, yeah, man.
They
all
gotta
day, 3-0
do more.
Optimus Prime.
They
have to,
especially
for
for that
like,
War for Cybertron line.
Yeah.
Because they've done a ton for that Bumblebee line. Like, I think they're almost done with characters they can actually do that legitimately showed up in the movie. So,
yeah. Well, are they done with that whole series? Like, are they doing a season 4? I know it's a trilogy, but are they going to do a new trilogy with the Beast Wars, or?
Yeah, I would hope so. I haven't heard anything, but they certainly set it up for it. And like where they have them is cool, where the Beasties and the traditional Autobots all kind of exist in the same time and space, right? So
good.
Man, it's
Oh.
tempting. I gotta watch that because Beast Wars I was like same age as you, Troy. Like it was my jam.
Yeah.
That was my
man.
Transformers, right? And it was
Yes.
so cool. So cool. I don't know. Can I do more in the Beyond?
Always.
I don't know. Well, I said the last two on my list were somewhat interchangeable, and the last one I'll throw out there was my vintage Ecto 1, complete with box and instructions, that I picked up this year for an absolute steal in a reasonably sized lot, after convincing the guy to not sell it to his friend but to sell it to me with cash in hand and a late night pickup on Kijiji. So it was a piece that I remember so fondly from childhood, and I have such a nostalgic connection to it. And to find it in that condition, complete with the box, that was something that I would have called you crazy if you had said, Tim, you're going to own this before the end of 2021. And I was just so pleased. The year before, I got the Firehouse. This year, adding that Ecto 1, the original. It was just such an experience. And Ghostbusters was probably one of my favorite retro lines to collect this year. So to add yet another Holy Grail piece, two big ones this year, being the Ecto 1 and, of course, the dinosaur I just mentioned. Really cool. So, yeah, Ecto 1, even with that retro remake out there, this one, although I paid quite a bit more for it, this one stands head and shoulders above all of that.
The Ecto 1, man, like that's like, it's so iconic. It's like that and the turtle van.
Yeah.
Those things, the Batmobile, those things are just amazing. And the fact that you got one of those too, like tip top shape, whoo. Have mercy, man.
Yeah. All right, Carlos, last one for your favorite collectibles of 2021.
You know what? I'm going to go with something like, I usually leave the Lego to the other Carlos of the Commonwealth, but man, that Lego Batwing, like that was something that I kind of slept on, and as much as anything, it was just like the deal I got it for via Kijiji that made it a compelling buy and kind of tipped me over the edge. But once I got it home, just the shelf presence that this thing has, like, it is just immense, and the stand that they give you with it is fantastic for displaying it a couple different ways. And I actually have it on a high shelf, but it looks like it's coming down, ready to unleash on the streets of Gotham. And it's just a cool piece, and I'm so happy that I made that on the whim decision to bring that thing home. And I don't mess with a ton of Lego, but that's something that I'm really happy that I went to go pick up, and it was just a fun experience, like driving to, like, if you draw a line from the far northwest edge of the city to the far southeast edge of our city, that's basically the distance between my house and the dude's house that I bought it from. But it was just like a fun trip with my kid, and I was getting more and more hyped. And after I picked this thing up and had that box in my car, like, I made her just keep playing 200 Balloons by Prince from the Batman 89 soundtrack, like, over and over and over again. So that's like a hour and 20-minute drive.
So far.
Yeah.
So far.
That was definitely one of the highlights. It was just a fun ride out there with her. And those Kijiji pickups, you never know. I was like, all right, I'm going into that house, and I like parked her like tactically down a street so she could see the front door and I could see the car. But I didn't know what you're walking into, so I was like,
you never know with those ones sometimes. And it's hard too, because sometimes you don't want to admit to the spouse that you're going on like a Gigi run, so you're like, if I disappear, no one's gonna know where I am. So that piece of Lego is incredible. I've seen it a couple times, and it's you don't appreciate the size of it until you see it in person. It's like most big Legos, is you see a picture, you're like, okay, I get but when you see it in real life, you're like, whoa, it just has, like you said, a presence to it. And I'm a big Lego fan, but that thing was far larger than I ever expected it the first time I saw it.
Yeah, it's sheer size, and just the Batwing itself is such a unique vehicle and unique shape, right? That it really, really stands out, that thing.
What were your favorite toy and collectible pickups from 2021? Let us know in the comments below, and be sure to give the channel a subscribe. You can find more 2021 discussions and all-around nerd discussions on episode 302 of the Nerd Room podcast, available wherever podcasts are found. Happy hunting and all the best in 2022. Talk to you soon.